Greetings, fellow humans. Today we're going to take a whirlwind tour through the entire history of our species, from our humble beginnings to the modern day. In just 8 minutes, we'll cover over 300,000 years of human evolution and civilization. Hold on to your seats, because this is going to be a wild ride. Our story begins around 6 million years ago, when the ancestors of humans and chimpanzees split into separate species. Over millions of years, early hominids like Australopithecus gradually evolved larger brains and began using primitive tools. Around 300,000 years ago, anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, first appeared in Africa. These early humans lived in small, nomadic hunter-gatherer groups and gradually spread throughout the continent. They developed language, art, and complex social structures. Around 12,000 years ago, humans began transitioning from a hunter-gatherer lifestyle to agriculture and settled communities. This period, known as the Neolithic Revolution, saw the development of the first cities, writing systems, and complex civilizations. Some of the earliest known civilizations emerged in Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China. These ancient societies made major advancements in architecture, technology, and culture. The Sumerians invented the wheel and the first writing system. The Egyptians built the pyramids and developed an advanced system of government. The Harappans in India had a sophisticated urban planning and sanitation system. Over the next several millennia, many of the world's great ancient civilizations rose and fell. In the Mediterranean, the Greeks and Romans made huge contributions to philosophy, science, and the arts. Greek thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle laid the foundations of Western philosophy. The Roman Empire at its height stretched from Britain to Mesopotamia, unifying much of the ancient world under a single system of law and governance. In Asia, the Chinese Han Dynasty expanded its territory and trade networks. The Indian, Maurya, and Gupta empires were centers of learning and culture. The Maya, Aztec, and Inca civilizations flourished in the Americas. Each of these ancient societies left a lasting legacy that still influences the world today. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE, Europe entered a period known as the Middle Ages. This era was dominated by the Catholic Church and feudal political structures. Monasteries preserved ancient knowledge and were centers of learning. The Byzantine Empire in the East continued the Roman tradition of a powerful centralized state. In the Islamic world, the Umayyad and Abbasid caliphates oversaw a golden age of science, philosophy, and culture. Muslim scholars made major advances in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and architecture. The Silk Road trade network connected the Islamic world to China and Europe. In the 14th century, Europe began to emerge from the Middle Ages with the Renaissance, a period of renewed interest in art, science, and classical learning. Figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Galileo made groundbreaking contributions in painting, sculpture, and science. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century helped spread new ideas. The 17th and 18th centuries saw the Enlightenment, an intellectual movement that emphasized reason, individualism, and scientific progress. Thinkers like Isaac Newton, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau challenged traditional authority and laid the foundations for modern democracy and capitalism. The scientific revolution overturned old beliefs about the universe and the human body. The late 18th century saw a series of political revolutions that transformed the world. The American Revolution established the United States as an independent nation based on Enlightenment principles. The French Revolution overthrew the monarchy and established a republic based on the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The 19th century saw the rise of nationalism and the struggle for independence in many parts of the world. Revolutions swept through Latin America, Greece, and Italy. The Industrial Revolution in Europe and North America brought rapid technological change and economic growth, but also inequality and social upheaval. The early 20th century was dominated by two devastating world wars. World War I, 1914 to 1918, was sparked by a web of alliances and imperial rivalries. It resulted in the collapse of several empires and the rise of the United States as a global power. World War II, 1939 to 1945, was even more destructive, with the Holocaust and the use of atomic weapons. The war led to the creation of the United Nations and the beginning of decolonization. The post-war period was shaped by the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. This global ideological and geopolitical rivalry played out through proxy wars, space exploration, and the threat of nuclear annihilation. The civil rights movement in the US and the collapse of colonial empires led to greater equality and self-determination for many people around the world. The late 20th and early 21st centuries have seen rapid globalization, technological change, and shifting geopolitical dynamics. The end of the Cold War in 1991 left the US as the sole superpower. The rise of China and other emerging economies has challenged Western dominance. The European Union has brought greater economic and political integration to Europe. The digital revolution has transformed nearly every aspect of human life. The internet, smartphones, and social media have changed how we communicate, work, and access information. Advances in fields like genetics, nanotechnology, and artificial intelligence hold both great promise and peril for humanity's future. Climate change and environmental degradation pose existential threats that will require global cooperation to address. In just 8 minutes, we've covered over 300,000 years of human history, from our origins in Africa to the challenges and opportunities of the modern world. It's been a long, winding, and often tumultuous journey, but one that has seen our species make incredible progress. We've gone from small bands of hunter-gatherers to a global civilization with the power to alter the very fabric of life itself. Of course, this whistle-stop tour has only scratched the surface. Each era and civilization we've mentioned could fill volumes. And there are many other important stories and perspectives that we haven't had time to explore. But I hope this has given you a sense of the grand sweep of human history and our incredible capacity for both good and ill. As we look to the future, we face immense challenges, from climate change to the existential risks posed by advanced technology. But we also have unprecedented knowledge, resources, and global cooperation. If we can harness our ingenuity and work together, there's no limit to what we can achieve. The story of humanity is still being written, and the future is ours to shape. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. I hope you've enjoyed our whirlwind tour of the complete history of humanity in just 8 minutes. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep making history.